Welcome everyone. I'm going to go straight into this. So let's see. Try to navigate. Okay. I'm going to go straight into this. So if anyone comes in, and it's not that I'm not acknowledging you, it's just important for me to go all the way through. At the end, I will leave space for any questions. Welcome everyone. Actually, first, for anyone that enters later, we're just going to allow ourselves to be in our body. Welcome. We're going to take one at a time, 3 deep breaths in. The first, breathing in from the top of your head, just calling all your energy in, letting go of old stories, anything that might get in the way of you receiving right now, of you receiving the seeds of wisdom and truth. Exhaling completely. The next breath in, breathing in from the top of your head and breathing down the back of your spine, where old structures, old systems live, allowing them to expand and release, making space within you for a new concept or idea, for truth to come in. Breathing all the way down into your root chakra, the base of your spine, the tailbone, the place of safety and security, reminding yourself, I am safe, allowing your belly to expand. And as you exhale, bringing that breath up all the way up, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart space, allowing your heart to open. And as you exhale, exhaling with an audible exhale, allowing that sound to escape, everything that's trapped and been held in, your tears, your fears, your feelings, your beliefs. Breathing in the top of your head, down your spine, one vertebrae at a time, unlocking old systems, clearing out any tension held in your body, culminating at the base of your spine, your tailbone, your root system, reminding yourself, I am safe, I am secure, allowing your belly to expand, the birthplace of creation, your intuition, your sexuality, your creativity. And as you exhale, allowing that to come all the way up through your chest, allowing your chest to expand and open, allowing yourself to be free to feel, allowing it to come out of your throat with an audible exhale, releasing anything you've held on to. And the final one, calling in from the top of your head, from your crown, from your connection to source consciousness, breathing all the way down your back, one vertebrae at a time, making space in your old systems, culminating at the base of your spine, your tailbone, your root chakra, reminding yourself, I am safe, I am secure. As your belly gets full, allowing yourself to fully receive any insights, creativity, intuition, or wisdom. And as you exhale, just letting go, allowing your shoulders to drop, your heart to open with an audible exhale. Letting that sound, letting yourself break free. So today's stream is all about secrets and the idea of, there's a saying, you're only as sick as your secrets. And I've had a number of sessions lately where it's really culminated for me or helped me to see the idea that these secrets are essentially like rocks that you hold. Clarissa Estela Pincus wrote the book Women Who Run with Wolves, and she was saying that these secrets that you hold in are basically like black rocks in your psyche. The problem is that these rocks also constrain your truth. They constrain your creativity, abundance, and flow. So any rocks that you've held on, right? And I call them boulders. So these boulders of shame that you have placed within you and your energetic and physical energy, and sometimes they can culminate as dis-ease, as aches and pains in your body, for all the things that you've held onto, that you haven't expressed, that you've swallowed down, all the truths that you haven't stated, and especially the ones that held around your body, around sexuality, around things you did do or you didn't do, or things that you feel like if you were to tell someone, they would have a different opinion of you, or if you were to express your truth, people wouldn't understand, or they would view you differently. And so you swallow your truth, you swallow it down, and by swallowing and not releasing it and not exhaling, it confines, and it confines over time and turns into these big boulders And these boulders that constrict your own creativity, that constrict your flow from coming through. So we're going to do a meditation to help you really see anything that you've still held on to, any boulders of shame that you've held on to. There's a book called Drop the Rock, but it's also about like judgment. And I was also thinking of like dropping the heaviness, dropping the burden. I was also thinking of like Jesus and Mary Magdalene. If you think about it, right, Jesus says, yet ye with the, without sin, throw the first stone. And this idea of like, where are we holding on in our own life into these judgments of self and judgments of others, and not allowing ourselves to release. The reality is we all have secrets. We all have things that for whatever reason we feel shame around. So really allowing yourself to hold them. And it starts first with telling yourself, being honest with yourself. What are these secrets, these boulders of shame that you've held onto? These things around your sexuality, your creativity, your body, your job, your familial structures, whatever it is. And only you know. I can just be a reflection for you to see your own truth. But you each have your own. But we all hold within us these boulders of shame, and they block energetically and physically. We hold them within our body. Every physical ailment has a corresponding emotional ailment. So we hold them into our body, our emotional body, our auric body, our energetic body, and they constrict the flow. Think about it. If I were to have a container, right? So this is me. This is the water in here, is the flow, the creativity, the abundance, the love, all the things I say I want, right? Connection to source, intuition. It flows freely. And then I have a boulder of shame, right? Of shame, of guilt, of regret, and I drop it in here. At one point, the water is going to spill out and overflow and probably overwhelm, but it's also going to stop the current. It's going to become stagnant. It's going to overflow. I'm going to feel depressed, or it'll overflow to the point that it all holds here. I feel anxiety, right? So where can we clear out these boulders of shame and regret so we can clear the container, our body, our vessel that intuits and creates and connects? How can we clear that out, clear the container, so we can realign with source consciousness? We can realign with our creativity, our hopes, and our dreams before societal structures and constraints got placed upon them. So I'm going to drink that flow. So that's what today we're going to do a meditation, but in terms of a practical tool, starting first with yourself. So telling yourself, so you can do mirror work in front of a mirror and tell yourself like all the secrets that you've held that you feel shame around. You can journal them, you can write them out, but I would just be really careful if you do the mirror work or if you do a journal, be really careful that you don't repeat that old story. So if your old story is that it's not safe to share the shame, to share these secrets, right? If it's not safe, then you might write it in a journal and then someone finds it, right? So really being clear as we tell a new story, being really mindful of how we do it. So mirror work can be really good. Mirror work is actually really powerful. And just making sure that you set up a really safe container in a safe space. If it feels like too much, I highly advise you to tell another. So a counselor, a preacher, a healer, like someone who holds the confidentiality and who they are safe and they can't like legally and can't like morally tell someone else, and someone that's not involved in it, because if they're involved, then their own stories and stuff can get triggered and they can re-wound that person and re-wound you. So sharing your secrets in a container that feels safe and a container that holds space for you without judgment. So I want to be that container for you right now. And we're going to do a meditation starting with the one secret. So one boulder, one shame that might have been a little rock at one point, but over time, because it's been so long, you've held on to it and it's become this. So whatever that is. We're going to do one. And if you can't do this now, I highly advise, I'm going to repost this. It's on Instagram. It's always on my Facebook. So the full sessions are on my Facebook for anyone who's not on Facebook, but we're just going to begin. We're going to, if our body is the vessel through which creativity comes to us, to come through us, that any boulders of shame that we hold on to, of guilt, shame, regret, that we hold on to, any societal external constriction, so it's external and internal, right? And some of us have a lot of external constrictions, and on top of that, we have internal constrictions, and then we wonder why we can't have abundance. We wonder why love isn't coming into our life. We wonder why we're not receiving what we want. We wonder why we're not outputting the creativity, the flow, the music, all the things that we want. Is because there are external constraints and internal restraints. And I realized for myself that I've done that in some ways. I have 3 different accounts. So one is Reclaim the Way, which is life from the inside out. The other one is Model Traveling, which is life from the outside in. So beauty, fashion, the external body. And then another one that I haven't given that much attention to, but is becoming more important to me, and that one is Reclaiming the Way of the Witch, starting with reclaiming that word. So wise, intuitive, teacher, counselor, healer. And I realized for me that it's different aspects of self, but the witch is the culmination of the internal and the external, and it's grounding it and rooting it into earth-based wisdom. And the witch is also the culmination of the masculine and the feminine. It's the alchemical marriage of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine rooted into earth-based principles. So if that sounds interesting to you all, I have an Instagram account that is Reclaiming the Way of the Witch. And I also have a website I will be putting up more in the future. But that one is going to be rooted in earth-based principles and the culmination of the masculine and the feminine, and the holding space for all the emotions, including the rage and the anger. So there might be a few more rants on there that I don't feel totally safe to put on here yet. But if you want the rants, if you want all the dark, the shadows, the light, all of it, that will be on Reclaiming the Way of the Witch. So that is for those who are not afraid and who are ready to go to dive deep. That one's going to be the deepest. So the Model Traveling, it's the lightest. It's like the outside in. The Reclaim the Way is a little bit, it's the flow, but it's the internal, the inside out. And the Reclaiming the Way of the Witch is for those who are initiated and unafraid. Okay, but we are going to begin with that first rock. Everyone taking a full deep breath in. Breathing into your body, allowing your body to be a safe space. And as you breathe in, allowing your body to move if it wants to move. It might be circles. It might be sitting. Welcome to, you might be sitting cat-cow. It's just opening up your body. So often we've constricted our body, particularly for women, but even for men. Think about the exercises that we do. It's with machines. It's this particular way. Women are told to be a certain size and wear jeans and things that are tight and hold us in. So just letting go in any place in your body that you've constricted or restricted. Breathing into your neck. And as you exhale, really exhaling with an audible sound. So that's another way that we've constricted. We've constricted our sounds, our natural sounds, right? You think of sexual sounds as releasing. When you're eating, you're that's good, right? If we're angry, it's rah! It's, we're breathing. So often we've placed constraints on our own voice and our own sound. So I really encourage you, as you do this, allow yourself to reconnect to your truth and your natural rhythms and flows, including the way your body wants to naturally move and the way emotions and things want to release and come out, and the way the sounds want to escape you. So breathing in, starting from the top of the neck. Breathing in a light, allowing it to wash over you, to cleanse you and purify you. Allowing the water of your emotions to move any of these rocks or boulders of shame, fear, and regret. Just washing over them gently. And as you exhale, letting that sound out loud, letting your body release. Letting your vocal cords release for all the times that you've held and constricted, whether internally or externally. With the next breath in, we're going to breathe in an apology for any places and ways in which we've constricted ourselves, when we've shamed ourselves or held on to these things, to these secrets, these boulders. Breathing in gently. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And just letting go. We're going to do this 2 more times, just breathing in this mantra. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Exhaling completely, knowing that as parents or as people, we reteach what we were learned. So if we were learned constraint, if we were learned constriction, if we were learned to bear down on our voice and our body or sexuality or reproductivity or creativity, then we're going to redo that to ourselves. So allowing yourself to step into a new system and apologizing for any ways in which you picked up an old system the last time. I love you, allowing love to culminate in every cell of your body. So we're just going to breathe in love first. Breathing in love until you feel it completely and just exhaling. One more time, allowing love to come in. What does love look like and feel like? What would love say to these boulders that we've allowed in, these boulders of fear, shame, and regret? What does love look like? Letting it have a color, a symbol, or a face, allowing love into your body, into these secret chambers where we've locked these secrets, these fears, these guilts, these regrets. Allowing love in, thinking now of the biggest rock in your life, the biggest boulder of shame or fear or regret, whatever it is. Breathing in love. What would love have to say? For a lot of women, it can be around your sexuality, your reproduction rights, your creativity. Whatever fear, guilt, or shame, have that boulder, that thing that if you were to tell someone, the thing that you are going to hold on to until the day you die, or that you don't feel safe telling other people, this is what I did, this is how I really feel, this is what I really want. What would love have to say about that thing? And holding that up in your hand, in your right hand, allowing yourself to be exposed, allowing the first person to see is you. And if you're doing this later, doing it in front of a mirror, allowing yourself to see the deepest parts of you, the parts that you have fear, guilt, and shame around, that you don't want anyone to know, that you've held on, that have constricted you and constricted your truth. One more deep breath in, allowing love to come in, this pink, beautiful light, rose petals, being released, allowing yourself to open up from a tight bud, like a rose opening up, allowing love to wash over you without judgment, with pure compassion. Exhaling completely. And the next breath in, breathing in, I'm sorry. Apologizing to that part of you that you've held down, that you've constricted. Apologizing on behalf of all those others that you didn't feel safe to express to. Apologizing for any choices you made, understanding you did the best you could under the circumstances at the time. Holding open, exposing this boulder, this secret, the secret of shame or fear or regret. Exposing it, apologizing it to it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the choices I made. I'm sorry for judging you. I'm sorry for not letting others hold you. I'm sorry for hiding you in the dark. I'm sorry. One more deep breath in, breathing in that sorry. and releasing it and letting go. And the next breath in, breathing in forgiveness. Forgiving yourself and forgiving others or anyone involved in the situation. But this is your rock, your boulder, your secret boulder that's been so heavy, that's been holding you down. Asking it for forgiveness as well as forgiving yourself and anyone involved in the situation. Breathing that into every cell of your body. And then when you exhale, letting go with an audible sound. And dropping the rock, letting go of it. Letting yourself see with the next breath in, as you drop it and release it, as the weight of it dissipates. And whatever emotions come up, if they're tears, that's amazing. Tears, think about what the ocean does to rocks over time. It breaks them down into sand. Allowing the tears to come through, not holding them down, allowing the anger, the tears, if you're whatever is emerging, allowing it to come through and allowing yourself to see what is underneath. If you drop the big rock or the waves cleared it, what is underneath? What wants to be birthed? What wants to come forth? What creative project? What intuition? What insight? What wisdom? Allowing yourself to see what was under that heavy boulder of shame, of guilt, of that secret boulder that you held onto for so long, that was constricted in you and your body and your energetic field and your emotions. When you release it and let go, what's underneath? With the next breath in, with both hands open, allowing yourself to see, breathing in, calling in your higher self who can see beyond you and beyond this moment. Breathing into source consciousness from the top of your head, down your back, all the way to the base of your spine, reminding yourself, I am safe, it is safe. It is safe to see. Is it safe to express? As you set free, you allow yourself to see. So we've just dropped a big weight. We just cleared it out. What's underneath? Allow yourself to see what's underneath. One more deep breath in. Allowing that vision to come to you, to come through every cell of your body and your being, making space for it, making way for it. Exhaling with an audible sigh, any ways you've held on with those sounds, with the constriction, internally and externally. Opening your eyes, not just your external eyes, but your internal eyes, allowing yourself to see with a new vision, connected you to your heart space and your soul space, allowing you to create from there without the heaviness of those old secrets and those old shames. Breathing in completely, exhaling. And if you actually did this exercise, you moved a lot. So I really encourage you to move after this, to shift your body, to turn it, to move, to dance without constriction. And just noticing any way in which your body, in which there is constriction, allowing that to flow through you and coming back to this one at a time, going through all the boulders, the secret boulders, the boulders of shame, fear, and regret that you've held on to, that are constricting the flow of your creativity and your connection. Thanking yourself for showing up, for being present. And if you can, doing this in front of a mirror would be really helpful, or in front of a journal, but again, making sure it's safe. And once you feel really safe, maybe inviting someone in, but someone who is very safe to share that with, someone who's not involved in it, ideally. So a priest, a healer, a counselor, a stranger. And again, if you want to connect to me at my other sites, Model Traveling, I'm about to do a stream on there. Model Traveling is about life, letting go of constraints from the outside in, reclaim the way, letting go of constraints from the inside out, and reclaiming the way of the witch. letting go of constraints on both levels and rooting and grounding into nature-based wisdom aligned with the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine. Be the change you wish to see in the world. It begins and ends with you. And feel free to comment and share your experience or share this with others if you think that would be helpful. And anyone who wants to connect with me one-on-one, DM me at Reclaim the Way to book a session or an initial consultations to see how I can best serve you. Have an amazing day.